Betelgeuse is a red massive famous person. In case you put it where the Sun is, it might enlarge out to the orbit of Jupiter. It is big, very volatile, and about to explode. Could Betelgeuse, in all likelihood, explode at any second? Big name Betelgeuse is both intriguing and enigmatic. This red massive superstar within the Orion constellation displayed bizarre behavior, while it got fainter in overdue 2019 and early 2020 than it had ever been in over a century of statistics. It, in short, became almost as weak as Bellatrix, Orion's third brightest famous person. The extraordinary dimming turned into the name given to this incident, but Betelgeuse has since regained its brightness, turning into the brightest star in Orion for some days this year, brighter than ever before. Speculation about its approaching destruction within the shape of an explosion has arisen because of those incidents. However, is there any proof for this principle? Will the purple massive superstar Betelgeuse explode during our lifetime? What effect would such an explosion have on Earthlings like us? Be a part of us as we explore the drawing near explosion of the Betelgeuse supernova and the caution from Brian Cox. Brian Cox cautions that due to the fact people can also be the sole sentient species in our galaxy, wiping out our civilization would have catastrophic outcomes on the complete galaxy. Cox delves into the Goldilocks idea inside the universe, positing that unique occasions over billions of years made Earth just right for significant life to emerge. Despite the fact that the star at the center of our solar system has not undergone huge trade in nearly 4 billion years, scientists estimate that it is about midway through its existence cycle. Presently, it transforms 4 million heaps of matter into electricity via fusing 600 million tons of hydrogen into helium each second. This warm plasmasphere is the primary strength source for life on this planet, but scientists are expecting it will evaporate in approximately 5 billion years, inflicting a big alteration to the universe. Furthermore, Cox disclosed how this will in all likelihood play out in the BBC's Wonders of the Universe series. You might consider the universe as static, but stars are merely a passing aspect of the sky. Notwithstanding shining brightly for thousands and thousands or even billions of years, their lifespan is limited by way of their capability to attain hydrogen. A star like our Sun begins to die while its hydrogen runs out. However, it does not bypass away peacefully. The Sun won't simply vanish into thin air when its existence ends. Its outer layers will extend when its fuel runs low because its center will fall apart and bring greater heat. However, Cox's caution that the results of the Sun's adjustments will be felt by way of Earth some distance quicker. He endured by pronouncing this may have a disastrous impact on our delicate planet in approximately 1 billion years. There can be one very last best day on the Earth because the planet receives warmer. However, sooner or later, all life can be unable to survive. The Sun may have extended to the point where it fills the whole horizon. Long in the end, human existence has vanished. Its very last stage of development will see it become a red giant. However, the Sun will keep evolving long after humanity has vanished. Our globe may not make it this far, but if it is all that will be left, look or our star's final death gasps. A chart in desolate rock, our Sun will burst in 6 billion years, freeing giant volumes of fuel and dust into space to create a large nebula. It will likely be a barely lit ember at its center, a fragment of its modern-day brightness and quantity, making it smaller than the Earth. Our Sun may have become a white dwarf. Although this method would make life on the world possible, NASA's New Horizons mission chief investigator, medical Dr. Alan Stern, previously disclosed that it had additionally created livable worlds within the coldest regions of space. Dr. Stern thinks that any remaining people may be able to find safety on Pluto and other far-off dwarf planets inside the Kuiper Belt, a place of icy space objects beyond Neptune. These worlds' environments will substantially adjust while the Sun expands, turning into delayed gratification livable worlds. Most of the time, stars exist in fantastic balance, gleaming with equal brilliance each year. However, there are certain exceptions. Some stars, recognized as variable stars, have brightness variations. The maximum regularly called as Mira, regularly called the superstar of Marvel, recognized in 1596 through German priest David Fabricius. It is a variable superstar. Mira is a pulsing celebrity that periodically expands in contracts. Another example is Algol, which stories periodic eclipses from a companion massive star. Approximately 30% of these variable stars are visible to the end, although it takes the ability to parent their versions in brightness. You already recognize Betelgeuse, even if you don't know the time period. It is one of the brightest stars visible inside the night sky, forming a sturdy shoulder of the constellation. Betelgeuse is a red giant, so huge that it could easily swallow up Earth, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and maybe even Jupiter if it had been positioned at the center of our solar system. Its distance from us is super, but we can still study it due to its size and brightness, about 400 light-years in keeping with the maximum accurate calculations, although that range may be in the direction of 600. The brightest of the variable stars is Betelgeuse, the fifth brightest superstar in the sky, excluding the Sun. Betelgeuse varies in brightness, every now and then accomplishing almost the same brightness as Rigel, the constellation's fourth brightest blue big name. Pulsations, though not as strong or normal as those of Mira, create the fluctuation. On an event, a superstar might also momentarily grow to be extraordinarily shiny. Supernovae are the brightest and rarest of these. They're created when the celeb explodes violently, finishing its existence. It is possible for supernovae to be vibrant enough to be seen during the day, although this has seldom occurred within the last 1,000 years. Astronomers dream of seeing a nearby remarkable supernova, an occurrence that very few people will ever witness. We are hopeful beings. The big name has always been a capability explosive tool since the beginning of astronomy. Astronomers have referred to Betelgeuse due to the fact it's so shiny and simple to discover. As a result, we've got a good deal of new information about it, which includes the reality that it's miles young, much less than 10 million years old, as against the Sun's 4.6 billion years or more. We also realize that giant purple giants like Betelgeuse have brief lives because they burn via their fuel supply quickly. Consequently, although this awesome creature is still a toddler in the grand scheme of factors, it will quickly pass away in a magnificent style. A fact to imply that a celeb will burn out any day now definitely means that it can exist for much longer than a human lifetime. In spite of everything, in a global in which 10 million years is only a blip, the next day is 100,000 years. When you deal with cosmic time, everything is relative. However, scientists have long referred to Betelgeuse's grand finale would possibly arise at any time. Stars which are numerous times as big as our Sun have the ability to collapse under their weight and die. When their gas delivery of hydrogen and helium runs out, they begin to accumulate heavier elements in their cores, leading to their implosion in ever higher temperatures and densities. The superstar is ultimately compelled by means of the reaction to spit its outer layers into space. Some are expecting that when Betelgeuse eventually blows up, it is going to be so brilliant that it will resemble a second moon in the nighttime sky. Betelgeuse is a variable famous person, but in 2021 there was a big dimming. In fact, it had darkened by way of almost 60% in some months. Finally, it turned out to be determined that a cloud was responsible for this. Stars like Betelgeuse are constantly liberating dirt and gasoline. Half of the big name became obscured by means of a mass of gasoline in the wind. The scale of the famous person itself indeed picked up on the megastar, found out that its southernmost element became absent. Some stars are regarded to have weather consisting of Betelgeuse. It is now 50% brighter than standard, but we still don't know what caused the abrupt brightening. However, it would not appear viable that a supernova is ready to arise. These stars' instances are the source of a terrific explosion. Contrarily, fluctuations in brightness are a floor phenomenon. The terrific brightness can be the result of the same dust cloud that was liable for the star's dimming, reflecting mild back toward us. However, astronomers are extremely joyful because we can't be certain. Betelgeuse is a superstar that is 15 to 20 times as large as the Sun, and stars with this type of mass are expected to explode in a splendid explosion known as a supernova. Due to the fact that Betelgeuse is a top-notch massive, its shade shows that its existence is sort of over. But in the interim, it would nevertheless be 1 million years off. For astronomers, over 10 million years is a completely quick time, but for all else, it's a very long time. This is the case with stars like Betelgeuse. New fashions have been run, notwithstanding this, with a few speculating that a supernova would occur in some 1,000 years and others putting it at 15 million years from now. The region close to Betelgeuse is full of mystery. Its true massive is unknown to us, and its distance is likewise up for debate. It is suggested that the megastar lately fused with a smaller companion, which might account for its quicker than expected rotation. The chance of an explosion is elevated by all these unknowns. There is no need to be concerned if Betelgeuse becomes a supernova. Even if it were to detonate, we would be okay. Even though a supernova is usually brilliant enough to outshine an entire galaxy, the Earth is shielded from gamma rays. Because it is so far away, even the most effective gamma rays will be too weak to damage us. But we might be able to see it. If it happens, Betelgeuse will shine brighter than the full moon and be visible during the daytime for months before vanishing completely, an unusual incident to behold. From our attitude, it could have already exploded, but it will take approximately 500 years for the mile to reach us. In short, Betelgeuse is undergoing a well-known metamorphosis. The star, which is nearing the end of its life, has become an interesting laboratory for analyzing the cycles of big stars as they pass away, including the mechanisms that bring about their end. We will be secure if Betelgeuse blows up. Its demise will take place in approximately 100,000 years, despite the fact that some records propose it could happen before the end of this millennium. What are your mind? Will the good supernova arise in our lifetime, or will it take another 1,000 years before a second moon brightens our sky? Please let us recognize in the comments. Do not forget to subscribe for more updates.